3.7 practice with Mr. V. I'm going to do the evens, so don't worry about any of the odds. Okay, so for the first one, it says describe how each graph is related to the graph of y is equal to the absolute value of x. So remember, that first one, the absolute value of x, is just when you start at 0, 0, and you go up 1 over 1. So it's this. So what we got to say is what happened from going from the red to the black. So looks like it went up 1. For this one right here, if we were to look at number 4, and give me 1 second, and we'll do that in red. And we went, say this is our original. So all we did in this original is we went to the left 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's it. All right. Graph each function by translating y equals x. Use graph paper. Now here's something that we need to remember. You need to write this down. This is muy importante. That's Spanish for very important. You will already have this on your notes, but you just want to make sure you keep this. If it's y equals the absolute value of x plus k, that just means you're going up and down. You're just moving whatever this v up or down. If it's y equals the absolute value of x minus h, and it's inside these bars here, the absolute value bars, that means you're going left or right, and then you also need to do the opposite, and I will explain what that means in a second. So if we go to y equals absolute value x minus 2, and I have this graph right here, and the equation is y equals the absolute value of x minus 2. So let's just say we start here with our graph, because we always start our graph at 0, 0, right? So this is the first one up here where it's outside of the absolute value bar. So all I'm doing is going up or down. Now this is minus 2, so I'm going down 2. So I'm going to have my new graph with the points here. And that's it. Okay, so just to recap, this is my original line right here. The original point is right there at 0, 0. And because this right here is outside, we're just going to go down 2. You just go up or down. If that would have been a positive 2, you would have went up 2 and just did those lines, okay? Let's keep moving. Let's go, and so we did 6. Let's go to number 8. So write an equation for each one of the translations. So 2 units down. So if I'm going up or down, I just take a look over here. And if I want to go up or down, I would just put y equals, and then I'm going to put the square of the absolute value of x. And then if I'm going up or down, so if it's going down, I'm just going to go minus 2. If I want to go 1.18 units up or down again, it's the same equation. We're just using this first one right here. So I'm going to put y equals x, and then I have to say, do I want to go up or down? So this one says I'm going up, so that would mean it's positive. So I would do plus 1.18. And that's it. So let me just get rid of the odds. All right, so this one says graph each function by translating. So now for number 11, what we need, I'll write it down first. So y equals absolute value of x plus 6. Okay. Now notice that means it's this bottom one. okay? So, give me 1 second here. Okay, so I just have my regular, this is just an XY chart. And if I were to make some lines, remember that my original line starts at 0, 0, and you just gotta make sure you do at least 3 points. 4 was great. So that's my original. And I have to graph this equation here. So it says it's either left or right, but then you got to do the opposite of it. Okay. So what this would be saying is we need a -6. So we're going left 6. So then I would just shift this over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my graph paper isn't going to extend that far, but my line would just be similar to that. So I'm just moving it left 6. So even though this here, right here is positive, when we're doing this second equation, we have to do the opposite of what's inside. Okay? Let's go to, let me erase this one right here. All right, and then if I do, so that's 11 done. So 13, y equals x plus 3.2. So all I'm doing here is replacing this 6 with plus 3.2. So that means all I'm going to do is do a negative 3.2, and that means I'm going to the left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So 3.2 would probably be right about there. And I'm just going to draw some lines right there. That's it. All right. So this one says we got to write some equations. So for 14, remember, I'm using this y equals x minus h. So we're going to have y equals, I'm going to have my bars, so it's going to be x. So left 7 units is -7, right? So if I would have to do the opposite of -7, it would be x plus 7. Okay? And then right 2/3 unit is a positive 2/3. So if I wanted to write this, and this is going to be inside of the, so this is right or left. So I have to use this equation right here. So it's going to be inside the bars. So if it's 2/3, I needed to do a negative 2/3. So it's going to be x minus 2/3. And so after checking my hash key, these two are correct. All right, now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, but never fear, Mr. V is here. Okay, so just give me 1 second to reset my graphs here. Oh, I wanted to do that in black. All right, so this is my just a regular line x-axis. And then I'm going to write my equation down. And if you'll notice, it has something from both, oh, I didn't want to do that. Something from both of these. So my equation is y equals absolute value x minus 2, so y equals absolute value x minus 2, and then plus 4. Okay, so as always, I'm going to start at 0, 0. I'm gonna draw, and that's my original, right? So I can just draw my lines, and everyone's happy, right? But then from this point, what happens is on the inside, as we did up here, the inside means the left or right, but then you got to do the opposite. So this is going to be plus 2 left, or sorry, plus 2, which would mean we are going to the right, and then plus 4, which means we are going up 4. Okay, so one more time. What's inside these? I'm sorry, not parentheses, but the absolute value. You're going to do the opposite of that. That's going to tell you if you're going left or right. So the opposite of what's inside would be a positive 2. So that means I'm going to go to the right. And then on the outside, which is the first style we did, and we're going to go up 4, because that's a positive 4. So from 0, 0, from this point right here, and I'll do this in a different color, do it in crazy purple. So from 0, 0 right there, we are going to go to the right 2. 1, 2. We're going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be our new starting point. Now, again, my graph paper does not go as far as yours does, but then you would just draw a line for about 3 or 4 points, and that's your translation. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Email me, and have a good one.